Jonathan Young.
Mr. Speaker, what is clear is that we have just heard a speech from the yeah-nah leader, who back in 2001 is yeah, let's go, let's do it, and 2013 it's nah. It's yes in the House here. We're going to do this and that. We're going to make sure that, whatever regulation is put in place, that it won't bind us in the future. But in private sessions, it's, nah, don't worry, we won't do anything to dynamite this deal. So we have seen the yeah-nah leader tell the position that's very clear to this Parliament and this country what they think about this agreement. Sir, the other thing that I think is perhaps the most ludicrous statement I have heard in the speeches in this House regarding this bill is from the Green and Labour members who say that after $402 million worth of expenditure, of which $315 is capital costs, followed by an estimated $90 million a year of increased expenditure, that only 18 new jobs will be added to the economy. Sir, if I was to write that economic prediction, I would be ashamed of those sorts of figures. I've got to say, if this is the number of jobs that the Greens and Labour parties expect from such significant economic activity, heaven help us that they ever gain the Treasury benches. Sir, we need to understand that as we go forward with this bill, when it is enacted, that we're going to see economic activity in a number of sectors in Auckland and around the country. It's going to affect travel, accommodation, tourism, retailing, arts and culture. All of these sectors are going to see an increase. We're going to see an increase in GDP in New Zealand and in Auckland, additional new and larger conferences and events, additional tourism expenditure from high-yield international visitors. So we're going to see additional jobs, catalysing investment in other infrastructure and service industries in and around central Auckland. We're going to see the raising of New Zealand's international reputation and competitiveness as a business events destination. We're going to enable more links between innovative New Zealanders and overseas experts. We're going to attract more investors to New Zealand, adding to New Zealand's reputation as Auckland's reputation as a global international city. Sir, during the committee stages, we had a number of information requests from officials. We learnt many things. We learnt that the Department of Internal Affairs has a team of inspectors who are located near the casino and have unrestricted access to it. They monitor data from the casino operations as well as being present in the casino itself. The department also undertakes periodic audits of Sky City's adherence to the Auckland Casino Host Responsibility Program, the problem gambler identification policy and the operating standards and procedures that sit below these policies. Sir, we heard reports from Dr. Paul De Fabro, Associate Professor at the School of Psychology, University of Adelaide, who said from an international perspective, current New Zealand legislation would be considered quite rigorous in the extent to which it emphasises responsible gambling practices. In particular, the requirement for providers for gambling services have policies which mitigate potential harm as opposed to just actual harm, which is not a feature that is observed in many other jurisdictions. Sir, as we went through the process, we heard that New Zealand actually has very robust standards and very high standards internationally. Collectively, he said, the responsible gambling measures provided in both Australia and New Zealand are more rigorous than anything offered in the United States, the United Kingdom and Asia. The only locations where responsible gambling provisions have progressed to similar levels is in some parts of Europe, most notably in Holland and Switzerland. I think, sir, that New Zealanders can be assured that Sky City Casino has one of the best host responsibility programs in the world, and leveraging off the agreement between Sky City and the government, this bill lifts the bar on harm minimised obligations. Sir, not only do we see these higher levels of obligations and harm minimisation that will continue to see addressing the problem of problem gambling, sinking lids around this country will mean that we will continue to see a net reduction in pokies, but we will have an international convention centre that will put Auckland on the map and generate economic activity and growth for Auckland and the regions beyond that city. Sir, I commend this bill to the House.
Honourable Phil Goff.
Mr Speaker, Jonathan Young, who just resumed his seat, chaired the committee that considered this legislation. What Jonathan Young did not explain to the House was why he refused the opposition the right to question the Department of Internal Affairs, the Health Department or Treasury by having them before the Select Committee